Magnit Handz versus jeddoman. This is about to be a good one. Welcome everyone to the second round of the group stage here, or the second game rather for Magnit Handz and jeddoman. They both took a loss in the first one. Magnit Handz were playing against Penny Royale Oil and jeddoman against Days Cloud. So they get to fight it out against each other here in a best of three, and the winner from this match will continue and try and make it against brackets against the loser between Oil and Days Cloud. My name is Walter the Fourth, and I'm joined with Shaw. How are you doing today?
Not too bad, Walter. How about yourself?
I'm hyped. This is the best kind of time period to live in, right? When you have all of the random races going on week after week.
Oh yeah, it's an exciting time. Been lots of great matches so far. I'm really excited to see these two go at it. I like both of these runners, so it should be a great one.
Yeah, it should be exciting. Looks like we have a Lucario sprite and a is that a Rick sprite from Rick and Morty? I don't think I've ever seen that one before.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's Rick. So great sprite choices. Pokemon against an angry scientist.
Yeah, that almost sounds like the same universe.
It's got to be pretty close. What start are we hoping for today, Walter?
I don't know. Usually you want to get a item that is required in some sense. Well, we start off with a required item. Could actually lead them, yeah. See Magnit Handz going for some farming bombs here with the 50-50 bombs. So we'll be guaranteed to get that bomb for escape. Gonna give up after the second try there.
Worth a couple quick tries before you lose it. Going into escape a little bit later makes perfect sense.
Mm-hmm. Right, do get a bow. That's a good one. Definitely one of those required ones. We do have a crystal Eastern as well, so we could go for an early crystal play. And also a pretty good weapon to farm some bombs on.
Definitely, and the early full magic drop's nice too, even though we don't have anything that requires it yet. It's nice to see right away.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the full magic drop means that the guards won't have any bombs, so we're gonna have to hope that the rats have some bombs instead.
Yeah, before they have to worry about looping it back in, but either way, it won't be too bad, especially with an early glove and a sanctuary starting place.
Yeah, that definitely helps a lot. You don't have to worry too much about back escape when you have that glove already.
What kind of seed are you hoping for these runners today, Walter, now that we're just kind of going through the opening stage setup here?
Yeah, we'll see. Magnit Handz actually farming for some more bombs here, so it might not be too comfortable in knowing which drops have the bombs. Definitely something that is worth checking out. So you can just get that information as soon as possible. You don't have to like spend any extra time in escape than needed.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot easier if you know that getting through here. And we've got Ether in the boomerang chest, so that's a nice early medallion find.
And using the bow is pretty nice here against the ball and chain guard. Use 4 arrows to take the kill. Yeah, still have a good amount of arrows for the back escape as well.
Yeah, it works out well. A lot quicker than running back and forth with pod strats if you start off with a less than stellar weapon.
Alright, so we did get to see the small key here. So the Dark Seer's chest could still be bombs to maybe bail us out for not having to farm. We haven't seen that map yet as well, which will definitely... Well, actually, did we see a map in the first one, maybe? How did I think about it?
I think the map was in the first chest, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Alright, so back escape definitely has 3 items then. Yeah, so jeddoman has a little bit of a early game lead here in the escape. Magnit did try to farm a little bit more. Unfortunately, didn't get that bomb though. And I think we also saw the map shake from Magnit Handz, which Jeddo will probably do after escape here. Alright, coming up on that Dark Series chest here. To get a sword, so that's nice. Gonna make the farming of the rats way easier, actually. Sometimes they can be a little bit tricky to hit with the bow.
Yeah, they don't like to stand in one spot and get hit very often, so both runners will be really happy to see an early sword.
Oh, I don't see any drops from the rats yet, though. Gonna be a little bit in the suspense about that for a bit longer. Luckily, that key rat is 100% drop rate. Could be kind of awkward otherwise. So I think we saw double small magic here to begin with. I think that's the pool that has a bomb. Could actually be mistaken.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure on that one. You'd have better insight than me.
Yeah, there is one drop pool that starts with one small magic, and yeah, it is this one. I think if you get two small magics in a row, there's like a single bomb in that one. And of course, bombs in back of escape. It's always a classic.
Oh yeah, it just makes it feel great. At least you won't be looking around for too many through Kakariko. Hopefully find some more.
Oh, Magnit Handz opening up the menu, maybe to see if he has the map or not, but when you're in the back of escape, the map actually doesn't show up on... Oh, actually, I think it is when you are in the back of escape, the map shows up. It's the front where it doesn't show up. So it should be good to know to pick up this chest here. Oh, maybe not. Alright, so that was a bottle with a blue potion. There's more bottles, but this definitely decreases the odds of being able to check the sick kid first time in Kakariko here. Could be a bit awkward if it has something important.
Yeah, definitely not grabbing that chest is a little bit different than you'd expect right at the start.
We're gonna see a really early play up Death Mountain here. You're probably grabbing the same equip point and then going back down again.
Yeah, that would make a lot of sense. Kind of surprised by seeing this early, but why not get it out of the way? Anybody at this level can move through these caves in the dark.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sword definitely helps making this a bit easier as well.
Jeddoman's going to give us a look to see what's on the lumberjack ledge. We'll find out if egg is required, at least for the item.
Oh, we have a shovel on lumberjack. That's that's a bit awkward because you don't know if you need that or not.
Yeah, that's going to be stuck in the back of your mind for sure.
My Magnit Handz is going to go all the way up here. We can only grab the Spectacle Rock item, but we'll also get some information what's on top as well. Oh, and there's a second bottle, so that's going to be pretty good for Magnets. Not going to be punished by leaving the first one.
No, that's going to work out really well for Magnit.
Oh, and there's a second bow. Looks like Magnets is gonna go for it. Maybe. Okay, yeah, it's not gonna go for it. Maybe just gonna do a map check here of the Dark World before saving quitting. All right, so we do have pendants at Skullwoods and Feastown, and the red crystals at Swamp Palace and Ice Palace. The pendants locations are a little bit awkward. Makes it a little bit more likely, though, that Magnus might start at Hype Cave instead of going to Village of Outcast first.
Yeah, it makes sense. You definitely try to stay out of a pendant dungeon as much as possible, but with those two that are nice and early and quick and easy to get through, that's got to be tempting.
Yeah, and the reason why Magnit didn't go for the silver arrows this early is because we're playing in hard mode, so even though it looks like silver arrows, it would turn into 20 rupees as soon as we pick them up. All the items are placed, but then as soon as you reach the certain quota of different items and gear, they will just turn into 20 rupees after that. And also getting the information about the shovel. So both our runners have that the information of Agam maybe being required.
Yeah, it's definitely going to stick in the back of their mind, that's for sure. So far, just a heart container and bombs in the well, another heart piece, a Quake medallion, and 20 rupees.
Yeah, we got 2 medallions already. We know we're going to need medallions to get into Tutrock and Meyer, so getting them sooner rather than later is pretty nice. Can be an awkward item to have for go mode otherwise.
Yeah, definitely. They could be hiding anywhere. Just 20 bucks off the bottle vendor. Let's see what's in our chicken house. Early sword. Gotta wonder what the runners are thinking when they see that this early.
Yeah, it's always nice to get sword upgrades as soon as possible. Can be a little bit ominous though to get them in the very early game. We're gonna have to get into Dark World somehow, and it's either gonna be through normal access or Aga. We do get that Pearl, which we'll definitely need when we get into Dark World.
Was that a fire rod on library?
I'm not sure. I kind of missed it actually, but I mean, if that's the case, at least we're gonna get our boots at some point.
Yeah, definitely. And a cape on race game. This is looking like an interesting start.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting. Definitely worth picking up that cape here. Even though if Aga ends up being required, we won't need that because we have a Master Sword. We can still need this for Bumper Cave and a potential Spike Cave as well.
Yeah, definitely. And it's a nice safety to have if you happen to get into a tight situation.
Yeah. Yeah, when you don't have blue or red mail, the cape definitely becomes a lot more useful.
That's for sure. It looks like Jeddoman's making the Eastern play.
Yeah, I kind of like it. It is a crystal, so we'll get all 3 items and a crystal. We have to sequence break some of the dark rooms, but I think both of these runners are fine with doing that.
Yeah, I don't think either runner is going to have an issue. Plus, I mean, logic is merely a suggestion anyway.
Oh, and there's our third sword. So that's the final sword upgrade for Jeddo and Magnets when he gets there as well. And having Ur the Tempered is actually really nice. Tempered is definitely one of the better ones to have. It's the biggest breakpoints, pretty much.
Yeah, definitely. Nice to have that the highest power offense you're really going to get for the seed this early.
Yeah, So many enemies becomes in a one-shot territory when you have the temper sword. Alright, so Magnet's going for the cape as well. And Jeddo is going to start exploring eastern area here. Get an early big key, so if the boots are available early on, that means the Armos would be in logic at the moment. Because you don't need, if you get the big key early, you don't need the actual lamp to get to the back, even though there's some dark rooms. There's a couple of dark rooms that have torches in them, and if you can light them up, then they become in logic. Right, so Magnet's going for a bit more standard play of heading down to South Shore first, maybe hoping to get like a mirror and being able to combine Pod and Eastern together, because he already knows that Pod is a crystal. We do get a Armets, so that's actually Dark World access. Without the hammer though, which can be a bit awkward.
Yeah, and especially when the two dungeons closest to mid access are both pendants.
Yeah, that can be a little bit annoying.
Time to take the Hyrule World Tour and walk around for a while if you're so tempted to do it.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to maybe see both runners go for that. So Magnet's going straight to Agina here. So most likely used splitting up the South Shore in two parts and doing maybe the minimal dorm into Ice Road Cave after this.
Yeah,
I think like when you get mitts and you don't have a hammer, I kind of like the idea of like there's no great point of like rushing Darkworld right away, because doing the Darkworld without the hammer is there's a lot of spots that you can isolate by doing that.
Yeah, definitely lots of checks early as he finds half magic in Agina, so that's great, another early luxury item to find.
Oh yeah, that's a really nice combo together with that cape to have early on. Plus having the tempered sword, it's a good offense, and you can also stay safe at the same time. We'll see if Magnus actually decides to pick up the tempered sword before heading into Darkworld though.
I like the use of the ether to get the enemies out of the way, just deal with the Igors after that.
Yeah, it does add some extra lag, but it does give you a way better visibility in the room. Getting a lot of love here in Minimal Cave, but that's about it.
Yeah, not much else to speak of out of there, but early hearts are always nice.
Yeah. Magnit is walking out though, so heading over to Ice Road Cave. Does not have the money for Sora though, so most likely you're saving quitting after that.
As Magnet's heading to Ice Rod Cave, Gentleman's heading in to give us our first boss battle, the Armos Knights.
Oh, shot the first arrow a little bit too early there, unfortunately. So it's a little bit off the script here, and I'm gonna have to improvise the rest of the fight here, and doing it pretty well as well.
Yeah, made for good improvising there, got it done, and 18 minutes in, there's our first crystal to seed.
Yeah, very nice. As well as our third medallion as well in Ice Road Cave. So we have all of them available early.
Yeah, no medallion hunt for the runners today, so that's they'll be thankful for that.
You know, with early mitts and bombos, like we don't have flippers yet, but I wouldn't be too surprised if we have the boots in Ice Palace, because Ice Palace, we've seen Ice Palace with lock Fire Rod quite a bit so far in this tournament.
Yeah, definitely. And there's been a lot of things that like to hide in there. Magnit picks up their tempered sword, so they're full of offense now as well.
Yep, looks like they're going to go for the play of going into Eastern here. With no hammer, it becomes a bit harder to combine pod and Eastern. And, you know, you'd also need a mirror for that.
Yeah, it seems like the play right now for sure. If they're easy checks out of the way, it's not a hard dungeon.
Yeah, it's a required dungeon, and you get some extra items before heading into the Dark World. Unfortunately, it won't be any required items, but still get the crystals. So.
As our runners kind of just go back over each other's checks here and work through, where do you think, with jeddoman with a slight lead at this point, where do you think he's going to head?
I would imagine that he heads, like when you're going to the Dark World, you pretty much only have one place to go at this point, right? So most likely you're just going to head there. We'll see if he decides to skip Agina for now. Would be a loss of the half magic, but it's not a required item. It does have a blue potion and a red potion as well, so in case of getting a couple of hits in the Dark World, you do have that extra safety.
Yeah, definitely sitting back there for sure. Probably trying to avoid going to the desert area if all possible, with desert being a pendant.
Yeah, and with like no mirror and stuff like that heading into the Dark World, I think it's quite likely we'll see both runners follow the same path in the Dark World as well. The only big potential divergence I see would be maybe shicking Skullwoods as soon as you go in, and potentially go to the back of Thieves Town.
Yeah, that makes sense, especially with them being the most item-dense locations when you first come into the Dark World.
Alright, so jeddoman is heading into the Dark World. It's going to be their first map check in Dark World as well. So they have some information to work with here. Does look like we go for the head up to Skullwoods first. I kind of like this. Try to be a little bit more thorough when you don't have the hammer, and it's also a pendant, so you might not have to come back here if you get like both items.
Yeah, no, I like this play too. Get it done nice and early, quick checks out of the way. Looks like you're gonna have to head to the back to get a key unless you take the drop down, but looks like jeddoman's heading to the back first.
Yeah, I think it makes sense. There's one item back here anyways, so you might as well just grab the key at the same time. I think actually if this is not a key in here, we're guaranteed to get at least one key on the drop down side. So it should be good either way. Just gonna get picked up by the Wallmaster to get a little bit faster out to the exit again.
Yeah, just keep the express lane.
Yeah, gonna play it safe here, pick up the key, and then probably get grabbed by the Wallmaster one more time. This way we can route the front a bit cleaner as well. Nice quick kill there for Magnit on the Armos fight, grabbing their first crystal as well.
Yeah, very nicely done.
Yeah, so with the routing that Jeddoman is doing here, can get grabbed by a Wallmaster or take a Death Warp, just to go right back to the main entrance again. Still haven't seen any items in Skullwood, so... Would be quite unfortunate if both of them are in the back section. Alright, that's one at least. Jeddoman was just doing a couple of spins, just waiting for the Wallmaster to come back. Unfortunately, that spin also killing the Wallmaster means that kind of have to walk out of here or take a Death Warp. Gonna set up the bomb jump here though. That looks good to me.
Nicely done.
Unfortunately, used a key, so there is at least one item in the back section of Skullwoods. And I think it's guaranteed to be on the boss. The other one should be a small key, I think. I think we only saw 2 small keys.
Yeah, I think so as well. I wasn't 100% sure on that one, but I believe so.
Oh, very unfortunate death in the overworld here. No fairies, so we're gonna have to walk all the way back to the portal. And with Magnit Handz not heading into Skullwoods, kind of giving him a little bit of an advantage in the Dark World here now. I don't think we got to see what was on Bumper Cave before that death though.
Yeah, no, I don't believe so. Really unfortunate spot to take a death, but we'll loop it back in, I'm sure.
Yeah, that's one of the dangerous parts of only having green mail. Dark World can be quite ruthless sometimes.
Yeah, everything.
I think Magnit skipped all of the chests in Feasttown here so far.
Yeah, looks like Magnet's just opting to clear Dark Overworld. Maybe we make the way down to Hype Cave.
Mm-hmm. That's definitely an interesting play. I guess it would just like automatically assume that people will go into Feasttown because it's been like the meta for a long time to check the first 4 at the very least. We do see a flute here though. That's gonna be really nice to have.
Yeah, it's gonna make movement a lot better for these runners.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, with that flute, wouldn't be too surprised to see them pick up the smith here as well, because then you can just turn him in when you go activate the flute.
Yeah, definitely. Just time to take the Smith on a world tour here.
Yeah, so this looks like I used to play down to Hype Cave and then sim quit, back to the village again, turn in the smith and activate the flute. Maybe head straight back in or check out what Meyer has first in the overworld. Do get to see a return trip here for the bumper ledge for jeddoman, so we'll get to see if there was anything required here. It's just a heart. It's a bit unfortunate.
Yeah, definitely up and out of the way for nothing that's going to pay off.
Yeah, it's kind of rude too when like you took a death right before a bumper cave and then you see a heart on top of it. Hype Cave, no required items here.
Yeah, Hype Cave and Mini Muldorm Cave, nothing but a bunch of love.
Mm-hmm. You do get to see what's in the first 4 here of Feasttown at the very least now. 300 rupees to start with. Does give us enough money for Sora, which isn't logic, but it's a little bit awkward. I guess with the flute, you can kind of do sort of whenever you want to.
Yeah, it does make it a little bit easier to get up there. That's for sure. It's a long walk otherwise.
Okay, so we got 3 items in the front of Feast Town. Looks like that's gonna be enough for jeddoman. It's gonna dip out of here.
Yeah, it's hard to make that decision to go to the back, especially when it's a pendant.
Yeah, and you don't even know if you're gonna get the item. That's the hard part. I think it's pretty standard for most runners to just skip the back if it's a pendant and there's just 1 item in the back. And then when you don't have hammer, that becomes even more likely.
Magnit going to give us a check of the mire area. We'll see what the mire medallion is, see what the shed has for us.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to not even see what the medallion is, because we already have all 3 of them. So we're not Magnit is not really going to need to get that knowledge yet. We do get a mushroom. Pretty easy to check with the flute in hand.
Yeah, definitely nice, quick and easy check with the flute.
Yeah, looks like that's what Magnit Handz is going to do. We could potentially save scum it here, but we're still missing a lot of stuff to actually make that check. So we do get a book, so we're not going to save scum that no matter what. Still kind of a lot of not great options, though. We have like the back of Thieves Town. We could do the front of Desert, but we don't even know if we can get any items there because no boots. And is that all we have at this point? Sora as well?
Zora left. We could read the pedestal if we
Yeah.
really want.
Yeah, that's not great. We could sequence break a bit and just head over to Pod as well, but not sure if our runners want to go for that quite yet. It's a bit of a walk to invest in that. Magnit is heading into Feast Town because didn't check any of the items before. So we'll see if they decide to go to the back as well. Now that he has a little bit of extra information of how the overworld is looking. But it is still only 1 item in the back.
Yeah, none of the options are great. Could sequence break into Ice Palace without a hammer too. Seed's been really nice to our runners for giving them a lot of offense, but not giving them a lot of great options. That's for sure.
Yeah, I guess you can't have it all, right?
It wouldn't be rando if we did.
That is true. Alright, so we'll see if Magnets just takes a death warp here. He still hasn't been in Skullwoods yet, so that might be that plus Bumper Cave. I'm thinking might be the most attractive destination for him at the moment. Oh, I guess we do have the purple chest in Logic as well, which is also another check that it's not the most fun to do, especially when you don't have a mirror. Flute helps a little bit though.
Yeah, flute at least makes it tolerable, but it's definitely not the most ideal check for our runners today.
Yeah. Yeah, this is kind of a pick your poison situation here. Don't really have any good options.
Yeah, definitely just take the what you feel is the lesser of all evils.
Yeah, so Magnit is gonna check the frontal skull woods here. Gonna get 1 heart, but that's about it. Jeddoman, we'll see. Gonna turn in that mushroom and get the book. See if he decides to head straight to desert or take that flute somewhere else.
Yeah, I could even consider Zora since you're already up this far.
Yeah, Sora at least gives you like multiple items because you can fake flipper, and then with the moon pearl you get to check the waterfall. 2 items there, and you get 1 item in hobo as well if you want to.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
we are gonna go for the desert play. It's very unlikely we'll get the full cleared here. We might need boots, and even if we don't need boots, we'll still need a fire source. And we know one of the fire sources are locked behind the boots.
Yeah, definitely. We'll see what pays off here. Kind of looks like Gentleman's just following the items.
Right, first item is a hook shot. Okay, that's big. That gives us a lot better options. We can do a lot on the mountain now on the East F mountain above the light and the dark world.
Yeah, it definitely opens up a lot of checks.
Yeah, what's that? We have 6 in the dark world and like 8 in the light world, I think. And then if we find anything else up there, like a hammer or maybe a mirror or something like that, would open up even more.
Yeah, definitely a lot of options for items we can find up there. That's for sure.
Magnit being a little bit uncertain if I should pick up that hard or not. Probably planning on taking a death warp here. Or maybe not. Well, actually, being on 3 hearts makes it so you won't take an accidental death warp too early. Little does he know he's about to get another heart here as well, so he's going to have to death warp a little bit extra to get out. Or maybe he's going to get grabbed by the hand by getting so many hearts all of a sudden.
Yeah, opting for the Wall Master Express elevator.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't just save and quit out of there, unfortunately, because you got the big key. So you kind of want to see what's in this big chest as well. There's nothing there for him, unfortunately, though. But since he had to kind of skip the save and quit here, might actually go for the purple chest in the area as well. All right, so we got the high probability play here for Jeddoman on Death Mountain. Gonna have to route it in a little bit of a particular way without the mirror. Gonna have to do everything in the light world first.
Let's see what the world's most confusing cave has for us today.
It's not starting off great, but that's the good thing with having so many chests in the same area. It's okay for most of them to be nothing, as long as some of them have something. Oh, nothing from the purple chest. And Paradox Cave a little bit disappointing so far, not gonna lie.
Yeah.
What was the best item we got? Was it the second shield or a bee in a bottle?
Yeah, take your pick of whichever one that you think might be better.
Yeah, it's not a great cave when that's your options. Magnet's going for the fake flipper play before heading to desert. I kind of like this in terms of the number of items he's going to get here. But probably still will have to go to desert. Do you see our flippers up on the floating island? I'm not going to be able to grab those quite yet, though. Guess that means Magnit won't be getting the mirror here unless it's on Sora.
Yeah, definitely. Magnit Handz going to give us our out of logic waterfall jet.
Ooh, nice cane. Out of logic, but I don't think Magnit Handz cares too much about that right now. I guess it does mean that we won't see a mirror behind any of the cane locked areas then.
Yeah, so what do you think our next major item of regression is?
Yeah, it's hard to say. Could be boost to grab that fire rod. I'm kind of looking at a mirror somewhere. Mirror to get us flippers. Would put all of Ice Palace and Swamp Palace in logic. But could be anything. Could even be a lamp to get over to pod.
Yeah.
In terms of logic. And there's our lamp. All right, so that does put the pod area in logic as well as catfish. Would be in terms of beating Aga to get access to that, but you can sequence break it with a current bomb jump or some Ancilla glitch. With now that we have the bow.
Yeah, there's definitely a couple ways around that for sure, but
Yeah, it's a bit awkward when you go to desert as soon as you can. You get the hook shot, and then all you got from Death Mountain was the lamp, pretty much. All right, so it looks like we're gonna switch a little bit here. Magnit Handz is now gonna get the hook shot and probably hit up the mountain, and jeddoman is gonna do the flipper stuff. So gonna grab their Kina Samari as well.
yep, runner's definitely just changing places right now.
Yeah, we might get a convergence back in Pass of Darkness in a little bit. jeddoman probably gets there first, because Death Mountain takes a bit longer to do if both of them head to pod after that.
Yeah, if all goes on the kind of normal pace, that's probably the way it'll time out, but the difference will be pretty minimal, probably.
Yeah. Yeah, and the order they do this in, it won't really matter too much because magnets can't like dip into Turtle Rock because you need a hammer to actually open the dungeon. The good thing with having a couple of items in the open, even though you can't grab them right away, is that it kind of like makes your go mode planning a bit easier at least. Right now we know we need mirror, and we're gonna need boots and ice rod and hammer. But then as soon as we have that, we have access to the rest of the items we need.
Yeah, it definitely starts raising a few little flags in your head for sure, that knowing what you need to get through and knowing where everything else is already lurking.
Mm-hmm. All right, so jeddoman done with the flipper stuff here. We'll see where he decides to head. Goes to the mountain, probably is gonna float away from here. Didn't get the health refill though, so at that point, could have maybe just saved and quit to Link's house instead. It's gonna head over to Agina here. Not anything required here, but we'll get the half magic, so that's kind of nice to have still.
Yeah,
it's
nice.
a good, yeah, good like consolation prize. It's actually like Gentleman's third trip into the desert area, but first time into Agina, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah, definitely opting not to clear it out when he was here the first time. Gotta wonder if either one of these runners are starting to think about, could there be something behind that shovel?
Yeah. Probably won't see the Aga play until we have boots. So normally you wouldn't hope for boots go mode, but maybe in this seed you will.
Seed has definitely been interesting to start, that's for sure.
Right, Jeddo is heading into the Dark World here. I would imagine we see a pod play. Could still see a Thieves Town and Purple Chest here. Okay, it looks like we actually might go for the Thieves Town play here. Or is it the Purple Chest?
Jeddoman hasn't done any of the Smith chain yet, so.
Oh, I didn't do the Frog Iron?
I don't believe so.
Yeah, okay, that becomes quite awkward then. You kind of have the same quit here then. So that definitely is good for Magnets to get some time back from doing the Smith chain as well without the mirror.
Yeah, definitely going to balance things out.
Alright, so with Magnet already doing the Smith chain, might actually be the first one to head into pod, but it looks like we're gonna head to Meyer first. We can actually full clear. Now that we have a fire source. The only thing that isn't in logic in Meyer is Vitreous. So our progression could definitely be in here. Even the mirror could be in here, which would lock the cane. As long as it's not on Vitreous. So I kind of like this play. It's a crystal you can full clear. And I wasn't actually thinking too much about it.
No, I overlooked Meyer as well, but yeah, it makes perfect sense to come in here. You can do it all, you can get everything out of here possible, get 2 more items.
Yeah. Even have like Tempered Sword and Cape with half magic, so that helps out a lot on the boss fight.
That's for sure, especially with Green Mail being our highest mail, Vitreous can pack quite a punch.
Right, so Gentleman is going to turn into the Purple Chest here, and we'll see where he decides to go after that. So far, no progression in Meyer, but we've only seen the first chest so far. Takes a little bit before you actually get to the items in here.
Yeah, Meyer's definitely one of those dungeons. Takes a little bit longer to clear all the items out because they're all over the place.
Right, they get the health refill, but not heading to Meyer. So this is either a Thieves Town or a pod area play.
Yeah, definitely interesting. Going to be fun to see which way it heads. There's our first item in Meyer, just 10 arrows.
Yeah, always scary to see that, but still gonna get the crystal when done here at the very least. And heading to pod at this point in time, it's Definitely not unreasonable to imagine getting a hammer in there, which would make you be able to full clear.
No, definitely not a bad play at all. Come around it, current jump across the water here, and be on your way.
I'm not quite getting it though, and it's running out of bombs quite quickly. I think he was a little bit too high. This looks good though. Oh, last bomb. It's gonna have to be. There we go. Careful with the timing, but as long as you get it. Actually, is a shop here where you can grab some bombs on the way to catfish, but I think this is just gonna be a skip catfish. You do get bombs in Palace of Darkness at least, but you have to make sure to grab a couple of ones before heading down to the bow side at least.
Yeah, definitely.
We do know that it's very, very likely to get our progression over here, since there's no items in Mire that can advance the plot here. Ooh, there's our boots on the pyramid. So that gives us Fire Rod, and it gives us 2 boots locations. Well, I guess 3. You also have that shovel up on Lumberjack.
Yeah, it definitely opens things up a little bit as Magnit moves in to take on Vidi here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it would be quite awkward to go through all that to skip Aga, only to get the boots and maybe have to do Aga anyways.
Yeah, definitely. That's got to be looming in there for sure at this point, especially after picking up the boots on the pyramid.
Alright, so we get to see a bit of Palace of Darkness here. Magnit Handz, most likely heading there as well. The big difference is potentially if it goes to Catfish first.
Magnit Handz with the book out. I think we're getting a ped check here.
Yeah, that's interesting. The information we have, ped is more or less in logic. It kind of depends on where that small key in Thief's Town is. There won't be anything required, at least.
Yeah, just some cash. Move along.
Yeah, at this point, I almost expected to see like another fetch quest on the pedestal as well. Yeah, Magnit realizing doesn't have the hammer, so have to just flew it out of there to grab the dark rope from the other side. So if there's nothing in pot here, do you think Jeddo will just save and quit and head straight to the boots locations, or is there ever a possibility that he goes back for catfish?
Takes the death warp. I don't know. It's definitely an outside chance. I mean, if you don't do catfish now, you're really committing to not doing it till quite late.
Yeah, I think like just the initial skip of it, it kind of means that if you find progression, you're probably just gonna commit to it. Magnit did farm a couple of bombs here in advance. Gonna go for the current jump here as well. That looked pretty high. Oh, I guess you can do the bomb jump even when you're that high, huh?
Learn something new every day. I didn't realize you could be that high for it.
Yeah. And it's gonna head for catfish. So if there's anything required up here, that's that will be a big takeaway for Magnets to put him in a potential big advantage here. Because your jeddoman is probably not checking catfish for quite a while unless he's forced to.
Yeah, definitely. I like this play. Get it while you're here. No better time.
Yeah, it's such a long trip over here. So I think the idea is just try to make the most of it. It's just a red rupee though, so jeddoman is not going to get punished for skipping that. So I guess if there's nothing in pod, because we haven't seen a lot of good stuff so far, it will have to be behind the boots or behind Thieves Town for our next progression.
Back of Skull Woods once we can get that fire rod.
Oh yeah, that's true. There's one item there as well.
And while we're talking about where it could be, I guess, once again, I keep bringing it back, but it could be behind that shovel behind Aga.
Yeah. Yeah, it's it's actually not that bad of the odds for that being required. Which is a little bit scary if you're the runner in this race. Because you don't really want to go for it until it's your last location. Because it's a lot of time and investment if you don't know if it's going to be required or not. Jeddoman is going to head over to Meyer now. Didn't get full health though before, so the first couple of rooms here might be a little bit awkward. Don't have the fire rod as well, but could use the Bowmore cane instead.
Yeah, a couple different options, but going in there with sword beams is always kind of the dream.
So we saw one item from Desert, right?
Yeah, the hook shot.
Yeah, because it was boost luck right away, right? So I guess we do still have two items in there as well, it being a green pendant. And now that we finally have fire swords in the boots, we'll put them in logic.
Yeah, it's definitely opening up slowly but surely. Just not a lot of options that you really want to jump into.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we keep getting put in these awkward, like not great opportunities to clear a lot of the seed at once. Just waiting for like one or two items to really open up the seed.
Yeah, definitely. The mirror would be a huge find here soon.
Mm-hmm. I'm actually a little bit surprised that jeddoman went straight here instead of doing like King's Tomb and Bonk Rocks on the way. But it won't really matter too much. Could have maybe picked up the fire rod as well to set up like a spooky Meyer situation here. Ooh, using a potion when you're going through the doors is a little bit scary. Can sometimes activate some awkward glitches that aren't meant to be used in this game mode, but it looks fine. Just something to think about when you're using a potion is try to not use it when you're walking through a door, because it can have some unfortunate effects.
Yeah, I can definitely do a few silly things along the way.
Both Magnit and Jeddo had the little bit awkward moment of a full row of Heart's Death Warp here on the right side with not having the hammer yet or the mirror.
Yeah, it would be the only time that when you play this game that you're hoping the enemies can just kill you a little bit quicker.
Yeah, I mean, at least we're in green mail, so helps the Death Warp a bit. Having the big key already, Magnet's is going to go for a bomb jump. And you just clear out the maze this way around.
Yeah, nicely done. That hammer jump was executed beautifully.
Alright, so Magnets is going to pick up the last couple of items here and then most likely semi-quit. We don't really have anything else in the area we can do. So I wouldn't be too surprised if we get to see what those boots locations are in just a moment. Probably going to save and quit to Sanctuary and still skip that blue potion again.
Yeah, probably. Clear it out and then clear Bonkrock's King's Tomb, go grab the fire rod and go from there.
All right, King's Tomb and Bonkrock's. Let's see what they have for us today. And if both of them are nothing, be interesting to see what Magnit decides to do next. The King's Tomb, only 300 rupees, which isn't very important for us. We already paid Sora.
Yeah, definitely if you're a Magnet, you were hoping for something to be in there. I mean, money's always nice, but we have just about every luxury item we could want.
Alright, let's see if we can get some better luck in Bonkrock's. Oh, it's just bombs. CS7 quit from Magnets. A little bit surprised of that, because we do have the Fluid. Oh, this is going to be the Aga play.
Yeah, decided to not put it off anymore. Let's go get our shovel.
Yeah. Yeah, we have one item in Thieves Town. We don't know if that item is even accessible or in Logic. We have 2 in Desert and 1 in Skullwoods, and then we have the shovel. But yeah, Magnet's saying enough is enough. He's gonna do the climb here, grab the shovel, see what it leads to.
The nice thing about it for routing is you can grab the shovel, get down, go grab your fire rod, then do the dig spot afterwards.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's definitely a pretty nice way of routing that. If you have killed Ag already.
Gentleman finishes off Vinny, so we now have 2 crystals apiece, an hour and 3 minutes into the seed.
Right, so Jeddoman is going to go for the Desert play here. Gonna get one item, as well as the green pendant, which will unlock one more item at Sahasrara.
Yeah, not a bad play in the end if you're really trying to avoid doing Aga.
Yeah, I'm surprised to see this before the boots locations though, because that's the same number of items, just faster. Tempered makes the climb here pretty nice compared to some of the other swords you can have here. Usually use 1 or 2 shots most of the enemies.
Magnet's getting ready to go up and fight Aga. How many blue balls do you think we're gonna have?
Oh, I don't know. At this point, let's see it. It is random though, so it could be anything. Now the question is, are we even gonna find out how many blue balls we get? Oh, most likely. Magnit is going for the slashes here now, yeah. Oh, never mind. I thought maybe they wanted like just a little bit of extra spice in your everyday life. But yeah, it definitely doesn't feel good as a runner in a situation like this. And like 1 hour in, and you're barely getting any progression still.
Yeah, it's definitely not a great feeling, and you're just wondering what to try to do next. Both of them
Yeah.
taking a little bit of a different gamble here. We'll see which one pays off if either one do.
Mm-hmm. All right, so I get down. We're gonna have to save quit though. No mirror in order to get that shovel. And Jeddo starts the boss fight here in desert. But not having that fire rod yet makes the boss fight a little bit more annoying. And more importantly, a little bit slower to get the kills here. Actually surprised none of the runners have gone for that fire rod yet. Only 10 arrows on Lamolas. It looks like Magnit Handz went for that fire rod, but maybe just gonna make sure to grab that shovel first.
Yeah, definitely opting to go up and get it first, work everything in, working your way through South Cac. There you go.
Yeah, probably just realize the same routing choice you were talking about earlier. You can do both of them at the same time.
Yeah, definitely. Let's see what the green pendant has for us, see if that was the answer.
Yeah, if one of these are the progression we're looking for, we could see quite a bit of a turn in this race. Okay, so green pendant is nothing. And that definitely betters the odds for this shovel to be something. And Jeddoman is going to go for the shovel too. So even if there's nothing on the shovel, then Magnit Handz are still looking in a pretty okay spot right now. Because if there is something, he'll get it first. And if there's nothing, then jeddoman will do it as well. It is the mirror. Wow. That is pretty rude.
Oh, that's just what you want to see when you're watching, but not what you want to see when you're playing.
Yeah. All right, so that mirror puts the flippers in logic, which still doesn't give us a lot of good opportunities, because then we can all of a sudden go into swamp and ice paths without the hammer. But at least we can check some mirror stuff as well, that including going to Hera.
Yeah, it seems like that's going to be the play for Magnit here. Head up and get Hera done, follow that before heading into a hammerless Swamper Ice.
Yeah, that would make a lot of sense. And it will be kind of awkward to pick up the flippers, though. Might not even do it right now, because you would have to go all the way over to East F Mountain with a hook shot and then go up there. Can also check both tablets now that we finally have the mirror.
Yeah, the mirror really does open a lot of things up for our runners here today.
We get a small key, but we're gonna skip going to the basement for now. Set up a little bit of a Hera pot here. Nicely done there from Magnus. Was going for the spin speed strats first, but they get hit by the Mini Molder.
It's nice to see when a runner knows multiple different strats for pulling that trick off. All of them are quite neat.
I'm not seeing too many items yet, though. I missed what was in the front of the basement. Was it the compass or just an item we didn't need?
I think there'll be an item in a big chest. I think it was just, I believe it was the compass that was down there.
Okay. Yeah, that's a bit scary to leave that behind when you already have so many locations kind of naturally isolated. Let's gonna head over to East F Mountain and pick up the flippers. See if he decides to use them right away to head to a potential ice palace, or maybe just go and try and clear some mirror spots first.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see which way Magnit takes this. This gentleman just works through his Aga fight here, save and quit and go get the shovel and fire rod as well.
Yeah, with both runners kind of avoiding Skullwoods for so long and doing like Aga before Skullwoods, I wouldn't be too surprised to see both of them used committing to that.
Magnit going to pick up the flippers now, and then, like you said, it'd be interesting to see which way they take this. What do you think of the seed so far, Walter?
I would be very glad if I never have to race a seed like this.
I'd have to agree with you on that one.
But I mean, at least we have boots, right? It's something. It isn't all bad.
This is true. We could have to walk everywhere.
Alright, so Magnit is going to go for some of the mirror spots here, as jeddoman is picking up his mirror. Ooh, we'll see if he flutes. He is skipping that fire rod again. That is a little bit scary. Don't want to find ourselves in a situation where you like forget that a specific item is there.
Yeah, definitely. Especially being right there in the library, and you check it so early in the game, it might slip your mind by the end.
Mm-hmm. All right, so jeddoman is going through Hera here. Okay, there was an item there. That makes a bit more sense why Magnit wasn't going to the basement. So they actually get both items through skipping the basement. And there's our hammer in K45s. Now all of a sudden, that opens up a lot. Pretty good timing of getting that hammer as well, because now you can head straight into swamp. We can full clear ice palace as well. Only really one item we're looking for now would be ice rod, which it's a little bit notorious for having as a go mode item.
Yeah, definitely. And it likes to be in some pretty awkward places at times.
Yeah, we could have it pretty much anywhere except for buying Trinex and in Gannistar at this point, which includes all of the isolated areas we have at the moment. But most likely we'll see Magnit just go for Swamp and Ice Palace first here. Actually, not going straight into Swamp. I'm probably gonna go for maybe an Ice Palace first. Surprisingly, if that's the case, why he didn't just mirror and float it over there. Maybe, oh, I guess he never saw what was on the island here.
Yeah, I don't believe Magnit did the check on the island when they did their flake flipper earlier.
Yeah, that makes a lot more sense then. And sometimes you might see the island and you don't fully remember what it was. And jeddoman is deciding to skip flippers for now. So could potentially grab the flippers at the same time as heading into what's it called, Turtle Rock, and looks like going for the fire rod as well. So maybe forgot about going there for a little bit, but finally getting it. So that's really good. Yeah, so Jeddo won't have the same be in the same situation as Magnit of just being able to jump into swamp after finding the hammer. Could still do ice palace before heading up to grab the flippers though, but fake flipper.
Yeah, definitely a few options here after that. Interesting to see which way they'll take it. It's a really quick icebreaker there on Magnet's side. It's one of my favorite pieces of tech to watch.
Yeah, icebreaker is definitely one of those. It's very technical, but it's definitely rewarding the more you practice it. Alright, so Jeddo is actually going to go for the flippers now, so won't be able to jump straight into Turtle Rock if not going to have that dilemma. I will say though, if the ice road ends up being in a location that's easy to get to, I think that would give Magnit Handz the advantage at the moment. Like if it's in the path of our crystals here, then both runners will naturally get it, but Magnit Handz is already ahead a bit when clearing the dungeons. So jeddoman's best chance here, I think, would be for the ice road to be a little bit more isolated in some place where they might not run straight away.
Yeah, definitely. If it's in the natural progression of things, definitely working into Magnit's favor, that's for sure.
Yeah, and Jeddo still needs to grab the hammer as well. We don't know quite in which order Jeddo decides to go for the mirror locations. So that could be a bit of a thorn in his side as well. Looks like they're gonna head into the Dark World here though, so this looks like a good start to get closer to that hammer. As Magnit is going to clear out the rest of Ice Pulse here by beating. Oh, very nice boss fight here against Coaster.
Yeah,
Didn't quite get all of them in the corner, but well played. Gets heart number 14 as well, so that's all of the hearts we're going to see on Magnit's side.
Magnit's going to head towards Swamp Palace here, and lots of checks in there as well. Do you go right to the back first, or do you finish it all off?
I think in a situation like this, I wouldn't be too surprised to see Magnit go to the back first. We're just one item away from go mode. And the big key could still be in the back as well. But I think it's a little bit of a personal preference situation. All right, so it looks like Jeddoman is going to get his hammer here. It does have the flippers already, so it could just jump straight into Swamp Palace. We still haven't beaten Paths of Darkness yet, but I'm pretty sure there was just a map on the balls.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything else left in there, so let's just see which way Jeddo takes us, being right here. Probably right into Swamp first.
All right, so we'll see if Magnit decides to go to the back first here. Looks like we're going for a left side first. And Jeddoman is going to have to make the same decision soon here.
Magnit definitely taking the more thorough approach.
Yeah, so Magnit is probably gonna hope that since he's intending on full clearing this, that the big key is here on the left side. So you don't have to go back into swamp another time after getting the big key in the back as well.
Yeah, definitely don't want to have to think about having to come back in here, so.
Mm-hmm. See a map. That's not super useful at this point, or like ever in this game mode. And there's the big key at least, so it's gonna be able to one-shot all of Swamp Palace here in one go.
Yeah, if you're Magnets, that's gotta feel good, finding that big key in its vanilla location.
Yeah, it's kind of awkward to do it after going to the back first, because then you have to backtrack all the way instead of using mirroring. Oh, and it's just a compass though. So actually, if you go to the back, you're guaranteed to not have to do left side at all.
Yeah, that's not fun.
Yeah, but Jeddo is doing the same play here. Yeah, like the odds are definitely likely that at least one item is behind left side swamp, but it does feel a little bit silly when you get nothing, like no actual items from doing it. It's just one of those things. Sometimes that happens.
Oh yeah, definitely. But I mean, you've got to be at this point now where they're hunting for the item that can pretty much be anywhere. I don't blame them for doing it this way.
Mm-hmm. Now the question becomes, where does Magnit head after this? Jeddo will most likely go to Ice Palace, but Magnit already beaten that. Might see use the pod clear just to get the crystal before heading up to a potential Turtle Rock.
Yeah, definitely would make a lot of sense to see that way. That way you're done down here, just head up the mountain. And powder on Argus.
Okay, well that's one more check we can do. I suppose after beating both Ice Palace and Swamp, Magnit has also got both of the 5-6 crystals now. So that's another 2 items we could check. So it could actually be like maybe a Pyramid Fairy into pod, and then maybe checking powder on the way up to Death Mountain.
Yeah, definitely going for the thorough approach, leaving no stone unturned, that's for sure.
Alright, Magnus being able to save the bomb there. Did dash through a little bit too early, but just did a couple of extra screen transitions to make sure he didn't lose the bomb. Set up a spin speed here to get into the pyramid a little bit faster. Pyramid Fairy only 40 rupees in total. We've got a red potion though, that's a little bit more valuable than 40 rupees.
Yeah, always something nice to have in the back pocket in case things go a little south further on. 14 hearts. You never know. Things do still have quite a bite left.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it looks like Magnit will go for the pod play here. I think that's quite good. Just in case, like, Ice Road is up on the mountain, you just have to make one mountain trip instead of two. And I think that we have seen... Oh, actually, with Agate dead, if it's not in Touch Rock, there's no way for us to save the portal if the Ice Road is in the Dark World, now that I think about it. That does make it a little bit more scary jumping in there, but it's still the most likely place to find Ice Road would be in Touch Rock at this point, I think. You have 5, maybe even 6 items in there, depending on how all the items are located.
Yeah, plus, you know, everything else, Mimic Cave up there, I guess on the outside chance if it is on the mountain, it could be in Spike Cave. That would be not exactly the most nice place for it, but...
Yeah. Yeah, it kind of almost makes you want to do Spike Cave first, just because you can't save your portal as you normally would. With the Aga being dead, you save and quit, you get to the pyramid, so you can't really like take a death and just save to the light world again. Jeddo is gonna head into Ice Palace. Get the bad news that it's not in here, but we'll grab another crystal, which will be crystal number 5 for them.
Both of our runners just moving through here. They both have to be starting to think at this point that the item's in Turtle Rock.
Yeah, helmet down. I will say though, if Ice Road ends up being in Feastown or especially in Skullwoods, I think both our runners are going to feel quite behind at that point. Little do they know that both of them skipped it for quite a while though. Yeah, Feastown, I think, would make more sense that, like, if you find Ice Road in any of those places, I think it's more likely you'll think that, yeah, my opponent probably skipped Feastown. But Skullwoods would probably make both runners be a little bit wary. Maybe actually Magnit Handz will go for that Skullwoods play before heading up the mountain here.
It's definitely looking that way. Just maybe for the sake of being thorough, may think about checking the powder too.
Oh, yeah, this is yeah, just doing hammer pegs together with the powder. I think that makes more sense. At this point, you skip Skullwoods for so long that you're kind of hard committed to not coming back for that one. Yeah, this is the joy of having late hammer. You just automatically isolate items here and there.
Yeah, definitely. Never feels good finding the late hammer and having to rope all these in, but...
And Magnit jumping down to Magic Bat here, so I think it's fair to assume that it wasn't an Ice Rod in hammer pegs. Alright, so now we're up on the mountain. We have Hookshot out, so this looks like the Touch Rock play. 5 items in Tut Rock, and we have 1 in Mimic Cave as well. Looks like we will go for that Spike Cave first. That's definitely a bit more of a safe play, which, as we can see right now, Magnit actually has a little bit of time to play a bit more safer, with already having a bit more crystals than his opponent.
Absolutely, and good call there. Thinking of mentioning checking it first, that's for sure there, Walter.
Alright, gonna have to send quit and then mirror, because we're gonna end up on the pyramid. And jeddoman now getting his second 5/6 crystal. Might go into that pyramid play as well, and maybe heading up to catfish as well, which is something he skipped a bit earlier. Yeah, looks like it. So kind of following the same footsteps as Magnit here. See if it decides to be exactly as thorough, or maybe head up to Tut Rock a bit sooner.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see the way this seed has been. Both runners are playing it quite well, but both probably have to feel a little bit behind with how deep things have been buried. Had all our medallions early, but Quake required for Turtle Rock. I'm just trying to think, when's the last time an hour and a half into a seed you're finally getting to see what opens Turtle Rock?
Yeah. Yeah, this seed has definitely been a little bit special. I think is the best way to describe it. Alright, we got our first item in Tut Rock already. Most of them will naturally be in the back, so we might not see another item for a little bit. We're gonna have to get a couple of keys first. jeddoman is gonna head into pod and clear that out as well before heading into Tut Rock, which makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, definitely just try to minimize the trips up the mountain if you can. Barring that if it's not in here, where do you think these runners might head next? I mean, playing and counting ahead a little bit here, but
yeah, like we don't have many options after that, right? So pretty much just Skullwoods and Thiefstone that I can think of. For jeddoman, it would also be a few more extra that Magnit has already done. But yeah, like the best chance for Jeddo right now, I think, would be to head over to Skullwoods or something like that before going up to the Tut Rock. But it's quite hard to do that, I think, in a situation like this.
yeah, you're definitely going to chase the density, that's for sure.
Right, we did see the big key already, so could maybe have an item here in the vanilla big chest. We'll definitely have an item in Mimic Cave. 50 rupees. We've seen 2 out of 5 items in Tut Rock so far.
Gentleman takes down Helma now for his 6th crystal.
Yeah, I think in one way this might be good that this is game 1, because like having this game as a potential game to knock someone out would be kind of a big feels bad moment, when because it feels like you played for 1 hour and 40 minutes, but it feels like we barely got to play the game because of the item location spread.
Yeah, definitely. It's great that it's not a serious clinching game, and these runners will get to go at it at least one more time, and hopefully what might turn out to be a better seed.
Mm-hmm. So there was nothing in Mimic Cave. We still have 3 more items in Tut Rock, but one of them could potentially be on the boss. So we're looking at 2 or 3 items left in here. Which is about the same amount of items we have in the rest of the world accessible at the moment as well. For Magnit, it's a couple of extra though. Like if it's not in here, I wouldn't be surprised to see Magnit just like go for Desert first, because that would let him save the portal, but we know Desert is nothing.
Yeah, that play would make a lot of sense for Magnit, especially being that Gentleman has already cleared it out and he has the knowledge.
All right, Laser Bridge coming up. Going to be the big reveal here if we have the Ice Rod in Tut Rock or not. Taking a hit there, so going to have to be a little bit careful now. And there's the Ice Rod in the first shift of Laser Bridge, so definitely a pretty good lead here for Magnit Handz now. And it's going to take the safety door as well, just to be extra certain here. Pretty much one hit KO mode here for quite a few of the enemies.
Yeah, that's for sure. Trinex can hit like a truck. That's definitely the case.
Yeah, still looking for that the last key to get the Trinex. Gets it and will be on his way. Does have the powder as well, so could powder a anti-fairy here before heading into Trinex. Oh, that was a rude pokey. But luckily we did take the safety door. So Magnit will be quite happy about that decision.
Yeah, definitely after that. It's never nice when the pokies won't play along.
Nice fight here for Magnit in the first phase. Did kind of miss one of the shots there, but had a pretty good recovery.
Yeah, cleaned up Trinex really nice here. Kept up the item. Now I guess with that being done, and that's their 7th crystal, I guess we get to play a little game. There are 22 locations where the big key can be in Ganon's Tower. Get your guesses in chat now. The winner will get a bunch of fake internet points.
Yeah, 22 locations, but only one big key.
What's your guess, Walter?
I'm gonna go with 5. I've said 5 the entire tournament so far, and I've been right exactly 0 times. So I'll just keep going with that one.
I like that guess. I always go with number 13. I've also been right 0 times, so something's got to give eventually.
One would think so, right?
Just a 50 on the torch.
Yeah, this looks to be the Dark Magician strats. See if that pays off here. There's the big key. That's number 3, so quite early.
After the way the seed's been to our runners, nice to have a key nice and early for them.
Alright, so we'll start climbing the tower here. We will never have silvers in this game mode. It being a hard item pool, so the mimics are always a little bit more annoying when you don't have silvers. And then of course that does mean that we're gonna have to do silverless on Ganon.
Yeah, it definitely makes the climb a little bit longer. Congratulations to Will WC for winning the Big Key guessing game, and enjoy your fake real internet points.
Yeah, and doing the climb here, I think, is one of the best opportunities or like situations to have that half magic, because you don't have those silvers. So the best replacement for Lamolos coming up is usually to use the fire rod.
Yeah, it definitely makes it a little bit easier to work through, that's for sure.
They didn't quite get all of them in one cycle here, but they get enough hits to not have to use the fire rod in the second cycle here. Just pick up that extra magic to use to be a little bit extra safe. I think we have a few potions potentially. We never did get that blue from Magnit, but I think he does have a red one.
Magnit grabbing that magic refill, go through, make sure that we don't end up with any jingle glitch on the way up here as well. Always works out nice.
It's gonna have to kill a Helma here just to get the key. Nicely done there. Make sure to get a powder in here and grab the full magic just to be as safe as possible. Especially the magic, you want to make sure you have enough of it so you can actually do the entire silverless setup. Yeah, so quite a fast Ganon Star here for Magnit Handz. He's gonna head into Agate 2 quite shortly, as the jeddoman is about to find his Ice Rod and Bingo mode as well.
Yeah, Magnit heading in for his agonometry lesson here. We'll see if Ago will play nice today.
Yeah, definitely a nice start here. Looking like a potential free cycle here. Very nicely done. All right, let the Ganon fight start. We'll see if we get a 1+1 cycle here from Magnit. Is going for the spin here. Let's get the trident spin, so that's a nice start. We did get hit there, and then kind of knocked the trident with the sword. So already a little bit low on health here. Gonna have to play it a bit careful. Just using the escape to make sure it doesn't take an accidental early death here.
Yeah, it's a good idea to do that. Jeddoman cleans up Trinex, we'll hand it into the tower. It was a really nice Trinex fight on his side as well.
Oh, does miss the torch glitch though. We can still do this without the torch glitch, but it will be slower. Still have to be careful though. Down to 2 hearts now. It's a little bit awkward when you're only using the lamp to light both torches. Most of the times you can only get 1 or sometimes 2 hits in.
Yeah, definitely.
Ooh.
Oh!
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna have to redo the fight. And yeah, I was just about to say we'll see if it decides to get more magic first, but yeah, you're just gonna jump in. Should be good with this. Just have to be a little bit more careful with the magic this time around. Let's get the 1 cycle this time around. Goes for some dash stress. Ooh, oh, let's get a double hit there though.
That doesn't feel good, I'm sure.
Yeah, after a seed like this, and then you have again a fight that starts off a little bit suboptimal from your liking, then that could definitely take on your nerves. Oh, that was so close up actually being a mirror that would stick. So this is looking like a head over and grab some potions real quick. Not gonna have to worry about the mirror portal because we killed Aga. Ooh, this guy missed the flute though. We're still in a good situation here for Magnit. Might not feel very good after those first 2 Ganon fights. But it's definitely still in the lead, I would say.
Yeah, definitely with a bit of an edge. Definitely not a super comfortable lead by any means, but
Alright, so we're going for a Ganon take 3 here. This time around full magic, and we have blue potion as well. So even if we were to miss the torch glitch here, we'd still have enough magic to just go for double fire rod shots. Let's get the trident spin again. This looks like a good setup for a 1-on-1 cycle.
yeah, it looks really good for Magnit here.
Does take a few hits, but from this point on, the fire bats will only do 2 hearts. So the biggest danger would be falling off, not actually dying, unless you take a Ganon hug. Oh, Geno, please. Like at this point, your nerves are like at the max level. You don't need anymore.
Yeah, that's for sure. You just trying to play it safe as much as possible, but get it done.
Yeah, it looks to be in the right. Right, just a few more hits here should be enough. There we go. Nicely worked from Magnit. This is a tough seed to do a race on, and still ended up doing a sub 2 after all of this. Actually, jeddoman could get a potential sub 2 here as well.
Yeah,
so definitely not very far behind.
Yeah, get your GGs in chat for Magnit Handz. But yeah, after this seed to pull this off sub 2, it's great for Magnit and potentially Jeddo as well.
I'm pulling out the hover here as well, saving those frames on the Molder 2.5.
Oh, there I go. I gotta go there first and then that, I think.
Speaking of, welcome Magnit Handz.
Hey, what's going on? Thank you.
This was a special kind of race, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely was.
Yeah, so what's your first impressions on this one?
All right, so early on, getting the glove, I was kind of like, okay, and then I got the bow for the 5th straight seed in the tournament.
Oh, so you get to start with good items every time, huh?
I mean, just the bow. The bow scares me, so. But after getting the bow and seeing, like, hold on, let me see. I ended up getting ether, and then I got a sword. And I was like, all right, so let me get no mode at least so I can see what my dungeon pendants and crystals were. And then after that, I was like, all right, I'm not going to Eastern first. I'm going to go into CAC. Did CAC, and after seeing Shovel there, I was like, please be a trap.
Yeah, that's fair. You did end up going for that Shovel, like before exhausting all the other possibilities, though.
Yeah, getting the lamp where I got it, because I got the mitts, and then going to I forget where it was. I want to say it was in Hookshot Cave or somewhere around there.
I think it was, yeah.
Yeah, so seeing the lamp there in the back of my mind, I'm like, this game wants me to do Aga. I don't know if it wants me to do Aga to go to Pod or to go to the Pyramid or for Catfish, because getting the glove early was scaring me. I didn't get nothing from Zora. I didn't get nothing out of Catfish. So I was like, okay, what is this glove doing?
Yeah. Yeah, it was kind of crazy. And both you and your opponent decided to go for the play of Aga before doing Skullwoods and Feast Town.
Oh, wow. Wow.
You both had, like, I think you had Desert as well open at that point, and I think
Yes.
jeddoman had the boot stuff still open at that point. But other than that, like, you had the same skips at the moment, so it made sense for both of you to, like, just stay away from Skullwoods and Feast Town for the rest of the seed after that.
Right. Skullwoods did feel scary though after getting the fire rod. I'm not even gonna lie to you, but I wasn't too sure. I just wanted to make sure I didn't miss any of the overworld checks before going back into the dungeons.
Yeah, that's fair. The dungeons always have to loom in the back of your head, but you don't want to leave anything lying if you can help it, and why go back into a pendant dungeon again?
Right, right.
And Jeddoman finishes up as well. Both runners getting a sub 2 in a seed like this, so definitely props for that. But this is one of those seeds where the sub 2 is like a good achievement.
Thank you. Thank you.
And we are joined with Jeddoman as well. GG's on the run.
GG's, thanks.
GG's.
So guys, that mirror, huh?
Yeah. How about that? That was definitely a troll and a half.
I mean, GG's to both of you for pulling off sub 2 on this, as we've already kind of said, especially with everything the seed threw at you. It's this way and that, and left turns everywhere.
I appreciate that, for real. Thank you. Thank you.
Yep, same. Thank you for that. Yeah, this one definitely threw me for a loop till I got that mirror, and then everything fell into place after that. But what a run.
Oh, man, I freaked died at Ganon. I was so scared. I missed the torch glitch.
To be honest, I was thinking in the back of my head, I can't believe he's not done with the way I routed this garbage. How is he not done? And then I saw you finish right as I was getting to Moldorn 2. I'm like, oh, there it is. All right. Well, let's hover for swag.
So after running through that seed, at any point did anybody actually feel ahead or the way it was going, or did you both kind of think maybe you were behind the 8 ball? I'm gonna guess the other way, but you never know.
Definitely behind. Definitely.
Yeah, I felt behind the whole way. I forgot to have my tracker running. So I was scrambling to set that up while I was going to Uncle. So yeah, that was a little brain fart on my end. So I just felt behind the rest of the way, and then getting the glove and escape with no bombs. Like, man, I gotta go get bombs and then drop back in. And then I got bombs from the rats after pushing the block, so there's no going back.
Yeah, that's
after
rough.
that, and then after that, just the whole time I felt behind.
Yeah, Magnit, question for you. Why did you not open the chest in Sanctuary?
Why did I not open the chest in Sanctuary? I thought it was a map.
Blue goo.
Really?
Yep.
Damn, I definitely miscounted that. Like did that in my brain. Because I was trying to remember where the map was and I brain farted if it was a blue goo.
Yep. Oh well.
Well, I gotta do better to remember that for next time. So thank you for telling me that.
It didn't matter much in the routing anyway, because we got another bottle in CAC before getting a sick kid, so. Was it in CAC or was that in Eastern?
No, that bottle was in the drop down, I want to say.
Okay.
For the thieves drop down.
Yep, I think you're right.
Yeah, so as we're kind of closing out here, I think I'm kind of out of questions. Is there anything you guys want to add for the seed or anything else? I'm definitely looking forward to the next race between both of you. This one was interesting. Hopefully the seed's a little bit nicer to both of you on Wednesday.
You want to go first, Jetto? Because you know I rode this trash.
Yeah. I'm on the same vein as you, Magnit. I had 2 bow seeds against Days. So this is my 3rd bow seed in groups alone, let alone the 2 I did during qualifier. So I would like to see something else to start with, please, and thank you.
Yeah.
But no, otherwise I got nothing else. Thanks to everybody. Thanks to TJ and Walter for calming this, and thanks to Samimus for tracking for us.
Yes. Thank you everybody for watching and for all that y'all have done. And we will catch y'all on game 2. So how we gonna do this, gentlemen? Who's rolling it? I mean, I did win, but Who's gonna roll the next seed? 'Cause
I defer
rolled
to
it.
the winner.
Okay, that's
If
fair.
you want to roll it, you can roll it. If you want me to roll it, I'll roll it. It's your choice. Let's be
Okay,
honest,
that-
it makes no difference.
Okay, no, that's fair. I wanted to ask you at least. So
All right. Thank you very much, guys. With that, if there's no more to add, I think we'll close out here. But looking forward to see the next one. And like I said, hopefully it's a little bit better off. And hopefully there's nothing behind a shovel aga again.
For
Agreed.
real. Y'all have a good day.
Yep. Take care, fellas.
You guys too. Take care.
Thanks.
All right. As Jetto's credits are playing out here, I think we'll close that off. For Walther, I'm TJ Joel. For SpeedGaming, going to close this off. I want to thank SpeedGaming for putting this on. I want to thank Samus for tracking and keeping us on track, so we have all these great items. If you enjoyed what the runners put on today, maybe give them a follow if you feel like it, or if you enjoyed the commentary or anything else, just that. And we've got lots of rando action left for you for the rest of the day and the rest of the week. So have a great afternoon or evening, depending where you live. Bye, everybody.